Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about the economy. The economy, the inflation, the decisions of the Fed, and how it could affect us in the near future. I really felt like what they're about to do could be a huge mistake and it could really affect us in the near future, so stay tuned for what I want to say. So without further ado, on to my first point, which is the Federal Reserve's prediction. So the Federal Reserve has reviewed their predictions during a meeting, and they still want to cut 3 times this year. And it's already March, and if you think about it, it's really hard to squeeze in 3 cuts. I mean, interest rates cuts, but when I say cuts, this year. And most of the experts actually predicted that it could be 2 cuts. Even though it's just March, but if you watch and research about this topic, you'll realize that it's too fast to cut, and it's also, when it is time to cut, it's also a little bit too fast to cut the second time and the third time between that time period. So most of the people think it's going to be cut 2 times, but the Federal Reserve still say they want to cut 3 times this year. So basically going from 5.5 interest rates, which is right now, to 4.75% interest rates. And the fact that stock market is rising means that actually the people believe in this course and has found like newfound hope to the stock market, meaning the stock market is rising and people are investing because they believe that the economy is going to become better. And on my second point, which is changing market expectations. So the expectation for a rate cut in May was at 8%, but now it's at 11%. And for June, it was at a 65%, but now at 75%. And also, July was also affected. It went from an 80% chance to 87% chance. So most of the people actually think that June is going to be the Monday cut. I'm not so sure about that. We have to get closer to know. But I think that even an 11% chance of cutting in May might be an exaggeration, because due to the lack of data and the possibility of a good chance of cutting by then is low, because inflation literally increased in the last report. So that might be bad, and they're going to rethink their decisions. And now my third point, which is Federal Reserve Chair's response. So Jerome Powell is the chair of the Federal Reserve, and what's his response? His response to this is that he's come and collected, and he's going to collect data mostly on inflation and employment, and we'll see how it goes, right? But at the same time, they have made it like a mission for themselves to cut rates this year, which is also a weird thing, because if you think about it, if inflation and employment is rising, employment is rising, doing great, and for wages inflation, it's also rising. If it's going that direction, is it really a good idea to cut rates now? You're just going to stimulate the economy. But that's the thing, they have made like a mission to cut rates, and that's also one of a problem, because the actual people spending money, the majority of the people spending money, is the one that's in the labor market. So if their wages are increasing and you encourage them to spend, then of course they're going to spend, and it will lead to overall inflation, which is bad. And now my fourth point, which is economic projections and rate cuts. So the Fed's plan initially was that they declare victory over inflation, right? They want to cut rates slowly before they actually reach the target of 2% inflation, which didn't work out because they announced it too early, or they're just doing it too early in general, because right now it's counteracting the actual way to make inflation come down, because right now they plan on cutting rates when inflation's actually increasing and the labor market is way too strong, meaning inflation is not even coming down and they're going to cut rates, and that's not how it's supposed to work. And so we've come to the conclusion that there's a politics involved, because there's an election coming up. So they're squeezed between now and election, like a deadline. They're supposed to make economy good when the election is happening. So basically, economy is probably going to be good after the rate cuts. until like midterm of 2025, and everything's just gonna go downhill when inflation actually hits the economy again. And now my fifth point, which is potential consequence and future prediction. So basically, let's run it over. There could be a potential inflation rising, and there could be a bad economy in 2025, and elections coming up, so they will be affected on the decision whether they make it or not. Of course, the Fed has expressed how they're uncertain about the interest rates cut or increase or stay still. They're uncertain about that, but the consequences has been made since they have announced cutting it, and everyone in between, like us, is just caught in the crossfire, and we all have to bear the burden of their mistakes, no matter what they do or say. It strongly affects the economy because something that actually strongly affects the economy is humans' emotion as well. So when the emotion of the buyers of stocks or houses shift to positive, spending starts to happen in the economy, and it will drive up inflation as well. So yeah, what they say really do matter. And now my conclusion. The conclusion is that the Fed is stuck between two things. Balancing a good economy and also between a political world. So mark my words, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to make my own prediction. My prediction is that in the future, by 2026, there is going to be a guaranteed bad economic year. And from the midterm onwards, from June or from July onwards in 2025, the economy is going to start being really bad, and the Fed's going to realize that they actually have to increase rates again because inflation has reached a very high level again. And I bet you not, because they're not going to increase rates before July due to the fact that they have just decreased it, and they don't dare to do it again because doing it again will just prove that they're wrong. But then after the point of July, they'll see the huge effect that they have done, and they'll come to snap into reality. Of course, they will hope for a miracle, everyone will see what happens first, but then eventually they'll realize that it's not gonna heal the economy, and then they will actually increase rates again, and then it will reach above 5.5%, which is the peak interest rates in this cycle of inflation. And everything's going to be really, really bad. The Fed is going to underestimate what they have just done again. And there could be a possible recession in 2026 and a hard landing. Of course, we have to do our own research, navigate our money, earn more money. And that's the best way we could get out of this really bad situation. Maybe, I don't know, leverage on things that could help you in the future, like future technology, example AI, or when stocks are down, actually cryptocurrency normally goes up because it's an alternative. Maybe you can turn to that alternative as well. Who knows, there's many alternatives that you can turn to, new businesses, new investments. Anyways, keep your eyes sharp. And this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like and subscribe. I do hope to see you in the next one. We're learning together, and I hope you learn with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.